Thank you for those kind words, and greetings to you all. And congratulations to at least 3 groups of people. Of course, the class of 2008. You can tell how old I am from that. You've come through 4 years with more or less success. Trouble along the way? Maybe. Perhaps none. But here you are at one of the milestones of your life, a day that you will never forget. And congratulations to the parents and families who are here. You have seen these people grow from babyhood up to this crucial point, and you look with pride upon them as they graduate today. And to the faculty who have nurtured you for the last 4 years and who have seen you blossom and reach a point where they can take pride in you as individuals and look forward to successful careers. Now, how did I get into this situation? Well, Dr. Helly called me one day. I think he must have said something that he wanted to tell me something about the sesquicentennial. But I didn't have my hearing aids on. And I thought he said, I want you to spell sesquicentennial. Well, I've been uneasy about spelling ever since a day in the 4th grade when a girl named Marjorie Smith beat me in the finals of a class spelling bee. Winthrop, said the teacher, spell balcony. So I spelled it, B-A-C-L-O-N-Y. Marjorie spelled balcony, and she spelled it right. That was a dark day. You can tell how traumatic it was because I remember all those details after 90 years. Well, he was continuing, and he said, at commencement, we're calling attention to the college's collection of relics and antiques. And we thought it would be appropriate to have you join us. Well, of course he's right. I am an antique. I've been around the college for about 40% of those 150 years. So here I am, and you have to make the best of it. As I tried to think about what I might want to say today, I thought that you could get better general advice from plenty of people than from me. So I'd better say something that derives somehow from my own experience. Nothing stands out more clearly than the changes that I have seen, and that I'm sure will continue and probably accelerate in the years ahead. For example, is there any water around here? Life expectancy keeps stretching in our society from something like the 70 years that used to mark old age to where I can say, oh, to be 70 again. and to realize how much better I could have used the time since then. Many of you will make it to 100 years because the understanding of human physiology and the practice of medicine will keep advancing. But remember, there are many other societies in this world for whom these optimistic predictions are not taking place. I'll come back to that later. As a child, I lived in a medium-sized city. We had what were called modern conveniences. Our house had indoor plumbing, central heat, and a telephone, and electric lights. What more could you want? If we visited my great aunt Lucy in a very small town not far away, we learned that she had none of these. I learned to live with oil lamps and a hand pump and outdoor plumbing. I get all nostalgic thinking of those visits, the many recollections that go with them, and some that seem to echo even a previous century before that. Across the road from Aunt Lucy's lived Mr. Dow, who drove an old-fashioned stagecoach twice a day over the 4 miles of dusty road to the nearest railway station, carrying passengers and baggage and mail. Sometimes he would let me ride with him up on that high outside seat where we could watch the horses and the road. Mr. Dow had a cat. He used to wait at the edge of town for the returning coach and then jumped up on the seat with us to ride the rest of the way. How different our life in the city was from today. About half the traffic in the streets was horse-drawn, including the fire department. There were plenty of trolley cars for public transportation, which a lot of communities would like to have today. But most of us, a ride in an automobile was a rare treat. My mother cooked on a coal stove, kept food in an ice box, and bought milk at the daily visit of the milkman. We had never heard of radio, much less of television, or supermarkets, or heart surgery, or air travel, or miniaturization, or air conditioning, or credit cards, or scanners, or computers, or cell phones, or digital cameras, or antibiotics, or microwaves, or even bubble gum. And every time I reviewed this list, I'd think of 2 or 3 other things we did not have. But behind all this seemingly simple life, the First World War was going on. A fearful matter of mud and ceaseless artillery fire and exhaustion. The first of 6 wars in my lifetime. I wonder if, and I hope that, your generation can do better in finding a way out of that cycle. Do you think you can?